Hey everyone, Scottish WION 92 here, and welcome to another edition of Worth It or Not. Welcome to the WION review of Saints Row the Third. I got this for Christmas, and I've just beat the main campaign in it. I'm still playing it a wee bit, but I think I can give a good review on this and tell you whether or not is this game worth your money to go and buy. So sit back and enjoy the review. So yeah, start. What can I say about this game other than it's a Saints Row game? Oh, sorry, excuse me. I'll give a quick review of each aspect of the game and then give an overall review. The story of Saints Row the Third is nothing special. It's your standard gangster get your way back to the top, walk your way to the top to take over rival gangster story. It's nothing special. The Saints Row's franchise, was it Vicious Inc. Even stated that they just create a game that you can have fun with. The story is nothing special. It's your standard story, but I will say one thing: the story in this is not as good as it was in Saints Row 2 for one main reason. In Saints Row 2, you fought 3 different gangs. In this one, there are 3 gangs, but you only fight. They all get known as one group called the Syndicate, and it doesn't feel like you're fighting multiple gangs. It just feels like you're fighting one gang in total. It doesn't have that same feel as Saints Row 2 did. So the story compared to Saints Row 2 is very weak compared to that, even though Saints Row 2 was virtually the same story as this, but there were some aspects that I didn't like. It's just there was a lot of bad points about the story in this game. There were some good points as well. There were some really great scenes in this game, also story wise, but story in Saints Row games nothing special, we all know that, but besides that, the story's pretty weak. Gameplay, all I can say is bless me, all I can say is that but the gameplay in Saints Row is very solid. It's very easy to pick up. Your standard shooting controls. If you played Saints Row 2, you're going to be comfortable with the control system in this. Some aspects you might not be. They've changed a couple of the controls, especially when driving. Normally you could just like drive and shoot, and this one is quite difficult to drive and shoot at the same time, but compared to Saints Row 2 it's a bit different. So they did change a lot of the gameplay a wee bit. It's very, very similar, but there are different aspects, especially in the variety of weapons you use. You do have a lot more melee attacks in this game than than the other Saints Row game, and also a good variety of weapons ranging from shotguns, assault rifles, pistols, freaking a mega buster at one point, to a giant purple dildo. Yeah. Name me another game where you get to go around and smack people in the face with a giant purple dildo. You can't, can you? That is fun. So the gameplay is fun as hell. I'll say that right now. It's very reminiscent. It's your standard cause as much mayhem as you can gameplay. Shoot everything that moves. Hit everything with your giant purple dildo. Friggin' bulldogs, elbow drops, hurricane ranas. You name it, you can probably do it in this game. Fly your jets, which I will say one thing: the amount of vehicles in this game is actually quite impressive. Not as impressive as other games, but there are a good majority of variations of vehicles, from your standard cars, to your tanks, to your assault vehicles, to your planes, to your helicopters, to your jetcopters, to your very high-tech laser firing jet / hovercraft, which is freaking awesome. And the majority of the time in Saints Row, you will just be going around causing the amount of mayhem that it's entitled for you to do. So another thing I want to say about the gameplay is there isn't much variety as in this game as there was in the previous Saints Row 2. I will be comparing this to Saints Row 2. In Saints Row 2, you had an abundance of activities you could do. You had Septic Avenger, Mayhem, Tank Mayhem, Paparazzi, a celebrity something, I can't remember the name of it. There was a shitload of activities, I can't remember. Snatch, Escort. In Saints Row 2, in Saints Row the Third, there aren't as many activities. There are, if memory serves me, Trailblazer, which they've took out a good chunk of the activities that made Saints Row 2 fun. Especially Septic Avenger, that was my favourite one, just going around spraying the town in shit. That was fun. But they did take a lot of them, and actually, the thing I didn't like about the gameplay is the amount of activities. There are multiple activities all over this, but most of them are just repetitive ones, increasing in difficulty. In Saints Row 2, there were activities almost everywhere you turned, and each activity had 5 levels of difficulty. 1, of course, easy, and then getting progressively hard to the number 5, which is near enough impossible sometimes. And this one, once you complete an activity once, you don't need to do it again. You don't do that anymore, which is kind of disappointing. I would have liked if they just kept that kind of formula and the activities that were present in Saints Row 2, but we'll have to wait and see what they do in the future Saints Row games. But Saints Row the Third, very bad, a lack of activity. So I'm not going to be playing this game as much as I did Saints Row 2. I'll probably stop playing this fairly shortly because there isn't as much activities today. And they took out Septic Avenger. I want my Septic Avenger. I want to spray the town in my feces. Not literally. Another thing I want to add, I give them major props to the new levelling up system. In Saints Row 2, you could only do certain missions once you got enough respect, and how you gained respect was doing activities, doing stunts, doing stupid things like that. In this game, the respect is your level. As you level up, you get more money, and you also get more variety of choices. You get to upgrade your character. So there is an aspect of RPG in this. Nothing too in depth. Eventually you will be able to buy everything in the game. I'll say that right now. You will eventually buy everything. So I do like the fact that they tried to add a bit of RPG in this game. I'm a big fan of that, and it's a good fun game for that. You could give your character, make your character faster, stronger, give them dual wielding weapons, give them this amount of ammo, upgrade your ammo capacity, get specific vehicles unlocked, get specific weapons. There's quite a good amount of variety. I will say that right now for the leveling up system. And also, this is kind of story and gameplay. At certain missions you will have multiple choices. There are 2 paths you can take. One path and another path. And I do like that wee bit. It is quite a nice wee thing that they did. It does add a little bit of replayability, but nothing major. You can actually just save it before you make the decision and then go back and do it again. But there isn't too much to it. You won't be going back to do a full playthrough. I'll say that right now, you won't be doing that. You'll just probably reload a previous save. So I do like that. They did try to add a bit of role playing into the game, and it does work to this because each choice gets you something different. Like one choice will get you, for example, SWAT homies, while your other choice will get you zombie homies. But even that does get a bit dull after a while. So what can I give Saints Row the Third overall in score? Compared to Saints Row 2, this game is not as good. This game is fun still, it's still a fun game. If your type of game is causing mass destruction, anarchy, and smacking people with your giant purple dildo, I will never get tired of saying that. If you could get away with slapping people with a giant purple dildo, you would. But compared to Saints Row 2, it's not as fun. It's still got the same taste of Saints Row. You will still have fun playing this game. But compared to Saints Row 2, they kind of stripped quite a lot out of this. So, Saints Row 2, if I was going to rate it now, I would give it an 8. This, I will only give a 7. It's still a good game. Who would I recommend this game to? 7 out of 10, I would recommend this game to someone who just wants a bit of fun. If you want a game that just complete anarchy and causes as much mayhem as possible, this is the game for you. And it's also, I'll say that right now, a very good stress relief. The amount of times I've been pissed off doing this time and I've stuck this on, all the anger just drained from me. So for a good bit of fun, just causing outright anarchy, it's a good game. It's quite a good game, and of course, third person, you can't beat that. So I would recommend this game. If you don't want a game this game's just for fun. This is like If you're not wanting to buy it, it's a weekend rental. I'll say that right now. Either way, I think everyone should at least play this game. Even if it's just a weekend rental, just go to your rental store, rent it for a weekend, and you'll probably complete it in that. Because I completed the main story in about 8 to 12 hours, give or take, the amount of fun I had with it. So it's not a very long game, but you will still get your money's worth if you rent it. And of course you could buy it now as well. I think it's fairly cheap because a lot of places are doing sales. In fact, I think the person that bought me this says they got this for me for 20 quid, so not too bad. So I'd recommend this game just for a weekend rental, or just for a game you want to have complete anarchy and fun with, and slap people with your giant purple dildo. I will never get tired of saying that. So hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think. Did you get Saints Row the Third? What do you think of it? This game is not for everyone, I'll say that right now, and please let me know if you're going to get it, because I really would like to see a lot more people playing this game, because it is a good game to play. But as I say, it's a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of stuff that can improve that, especially graphically wise. There are a lot of texture pop problems in this game, I'll say that right now. So overall, I give it a 7 out of 10, and I would recommend this at least for a weekend rental, because it is a good game to play for a bit of fun. Especially with friends. If you get 2 people playing this game, you're going to have so much fucking fun slapping people with your giant purple dildo. I'm sorry, I'll never get tired of saying that. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92, and this has been another edition of WION. Don't forget, as always, put your requests down below, and I'll see you all there. Ciao for now. Mwah. See